You know how I discuss about money a lot on this channel. I mean, I've discussed it all. How it's just a bunch of digital numbers and pieces of paper, and we have to survive and all that. And I just been having even more thoughts about this. But I've been having this realization for a while. But when you go to the grocery store or the supermarket, and there's a bunch of food everywhere, obviously because it's a supermarket. And you walk in and you see all the organic stuff. You see the fruits, the vegetables. Okay, those are like grown from the earth. Like this is coming from somewhere that this is growing somewhere. And then you walk into the next aisles, and you start to see like things with a packaging, things with a brand, things with a logo, things with a label, and it has all the nutrition facts elements and all the information, how many calories, how much sugar there is in there. And I just had this thought about how a lot of the stuff that we consume, that we buy, it's coming from corporations, it's coming from companies. They're just manufactured in a factory. Like it's just not it's not real. And I just had this realization of how when you see that logo, that company, that brand on that packaging, like it's not just food, because behind that is a worker slaving their life away, in a factory, producing this thing for you, processing this, and it's manufactured, and it's like it's processed food. It's like it's you get where I'm trying to go with this. And it's like going, like when you really think about it deeply, it's I don't like, the more I think about it, it's like, okay, yeah, there's a worker. Not only there's a worker, but there is like all these board meetings. There's a CEO, there's a boss, there's a higher up in this company, and they're all like discussing at a table, like what's the next product that we're gonna do to sell. And I don't know what to say. Like once you have this awareness, you start to think about these things, and it's crazy. And I just can't help but think it's like they have these meetings, okay, and they have these meetings of like, oh, what are we gonna do? And it doesn't feel like food to me anymore. Like I see this box of like whatever, like I don't know, chips, chocolate bars, a muffin. I don't know. It could be anything. A piece of bread, a loaf of bread. But it's not just a loaf of bread. There's a logo. There's a company. There's all the nutrition facts, all the information on what's in this piece of bread, this loaf of bread. And this loaf of bread is like, it's processed. It's not just like something that you make homemade in your house and then you just eat it. No, it's like, and I'm not saying like, oh, we should all, oh, why don't we just grow out all of our own food? No, the point of this video is to just bring awareness, to just make people realize that there is something at play here. There is something going on deep down. It's not just a loaf of bread. It's not just a piece of muffin. It's not just a chocolate bar. It's something. There is something deep in this. There's also the business side aspect. And all these CEOs, these higher ups, these managers running this company of bread, company of yogurt. They're all like discussing how much money they're gonna make. They're also discussing the sales, how much money they made in a month, how like, did it beat last year's record, and stuff like that. And it's like, it feels all so artificial. It doesn't feel real. It feels all manufactured. It's like, it's not about, these things don't happen because they want us to eat food. They happen because they want to make money. They want to make the digital numbers go up. Like, we live in a world where everything is a company, everything is a business, everything is a corporation, everything needs to be produced, mass produced, so that they can sell, because that's all they really care about. But like on the nutrition facts you get on the back of a packaging, the back of a label, or whatever the fuck, You know, they have all this information, this calorie, number of calories, sugar, fiber, all that stuff. You know, you never know if the company or somebody in the higher up, the CEO decides, oh, let's put the number lower so that we can sell these more, so that people will think, oh, this is healthy. You know, and then when it's healthy, you know, they'll just convince people to, you know, we don't know what the hell's going on, like in these companies or these corporations. They can decide whatever the fuck they want just to sell, because that is literally their main goal. Their main goal is not to feed us. Their main goal is to mass produce, to make people consume like in large chunks, you know, like, because that's all they care about. They care about the digital numbers aspect. They care about the pieces of paper. You know, all they're seeing is dollar signs like in their eyes. Like that's all they see. You know, and to some degree they'll make the product like so that it doesn't at least kill us, but in the process, like these things are like this is all processed food. You know, and I think to myself, it's because it's not like organic, so it almost makes me feel like, are we eating like poison? Like we're literally eating things that are not like natural. We're eating things that are just manufactured. We're like think about it. Think about everything that we consume. Everything that we eat is just manufactured. Nothing is natural. You know, except for like the fruits and vegetables, but other than that, like, God. Like, picture ourselves living in a society where we're just like growing all of our own food, all of this and that, and we're just kind of sharing to each other, and just being in a community and stuff, and just kind of, yeah, something pure and something simple. But the fact that everything comes from a company, everything comes from a corporation, everything comes from a decision that from somebody in the higher up and making decisions like ha ha ha, like, and then just like coming up with strategies and marketing. Let's make a commercial that's going to make it look like that's going to make people crave this burger, that's going to make people crave this chocolate, you know, and it's going to make people crave these chips, these really unhealthy things, you know, because it looks good in the marketing, it looks good in the commercial, it looks good on the banner sign in the street, at the bus stop or something. I don't know. It could be anything. Like, everything is done to drive sales. Everything is done to drive digital numbers. You know, it's just, why? Like, we were born on this earth, okay, and that's like a natural thing. I'm just saying that we were born here. And what else is natural? Nature, yeah, the trees, you know, bunnies, rabbits, I don't know, a dog. A stray cat, or, you know, and the grass, flowers, like, and, you know, food that grows from the earth, like those are natural things, you know. But all this stuff that we have, it's just all made up. It's all unnatural. and you know what's even more unnatural? Digital fucking numbers. They're just numbers. No, seriously, they're just numbers. They're numbers on a screen. Somebody decided this is going to be 200 calories. Somebody decided you have to pay these bills. Somebody decided you have to pay these amount of taxes. Somebody just made that up. And don't you guys get it? Like I'm just tired of just realizing how everything, it really is just made up. Everything is just artificial. It's just not real. It's just all done to drive sales, to make the digital numbers go around the world, because that's how the world runs. Because everybody wants digital numbers, right? And the fact that people like are, you know, people are like chasing degrees, chasing, you know, and literally this is the whole point of chasing a degree, is to get a high-paying job. Like, who invented a high-paying job? Like, why is high-paying job a thing? Why can't it just be a job where we all, like, everything is fair? You know, so that there isn't, like, somebody having a high-paying job and somebody having a low-paying job. No, why can't it just be a fucking paying job? You know, and like, oh, this person's gonna make 100K and the other person's gonna make 5,000 instead. Like, somebody's gonna make much less. Or something. I don't know. I'm just saying bullshit. You know, but like, why do we live in a world where it's okay for this to happen? Oh yeah, because it makes people have to chase. It makes people, oh, well, if I want this big house, I have to go to school, get into a good program, get this degree, get this bachelor, you know, and then hopefully that's going to lead me to a high-paying job so that I can finally get that car, so I can finally get that luxury mansion, you know, so I can finally get all this high tech in my house, and you know, with the I don't fucking know. Like, everything is literally just done for the chase. You know, you chase this milestone, you chase this, chase that, chase that, chase that, and it just keeps on chasing. But what is all this chasing for, really? Just something artificial, just something made up. You know, and is that really what's gonna, like, feed our soul and bring happiness? No. You know, it's just gonna, like, affect our mental health down the line, and so much stress and anxiety, stressing about grades, stressing about bills and taxes and all that. And it's just an endless chase. You know, you're gonna chase all of that just so that you can pay bills. You're gonna chase all of that so you can pay taxes until retirement, if that's even possible in this day and age now. And something actually happened just recently, but remember that moment in one of my videos? I threw a bunch of letters on the floor. It's these things. It's these things. These things are meaningless. Yeah, well, I actually got a call from, you know, the government about these papers, these things, these amounts, these digits that I have to pay, and that I actually, like, because when I chucked those letters on the ground, I actually said fuck the, like, in my mind I was like, fuck the system. I was like, I'm just gonna not pay. You know, I literally told myself, I'm just gonna not pay. I'm just gonna, okay, fuck it. You know, because when it comes to fighting the system, this is how you start by fighting it. You start by not paying. You know, you start by resisting them. You start by talking back at them. You know, you start saying, hey, I'm not gonna fucking do this. And I think to myself, if everybody started doing this, everybody resisted, something can change. If somebody actually did if everybody did what I did, you know, at the time when I was resisting, you know, we could actually like I don't know, create a fucking revolution or something. I don't know. No, seriously, because at some point they're gonna be like are they really gonna be able to stop all of us? Because we're a lot of people. Now, a lot of people are paying, and we're just like giving in to the system because we have no choice. But if we all decided to chuck all those bills, chuck all those letters on the ground like I did in that video, and say fuck it, you know, we could actually do something about it. But I got this call yesterday saying, hey, you know, you haven't been paying this, and they're not like bills. They're like, it's a long story. It's a Canadian thing, but yeah, it's you know, it's things to pay back the government. I don't fucking know. It's a really dystopian thing. But anyways, but like seriously, think about it. You know, I decided to not pay this thing because I was like, this is meaningless because these are just digital numbers. You know, and then I did a bit more research, but like, you know, I was like, because this whole time I was like, what's the worst that can happen? You know, like, seriously, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna like ruin my life if I don't do this? You know, because like I said, these are not like bills for a house or an apartment or anything. It's a completely unrelated issue, but the point is, it's something that I found completely meaningless. So meaningless to the point where I was like, okay, well, what's the worst that can happen? And I did a bit more research, and apparently you can get into debt, and they can raise the interest rate or something, and, you know, basically financial burdens, financial consequences. So that's the worst that can happen. Then I thought to myself, like, you know, it's only a burden, it's only a consequence because I'm alive, because I'm living in this system. You know, but if I somehow just die tomorrow or something, what's going to happen? Is there still going to be a debt? Is there still going to be a financial burden? No, because I'm just gone. And it just goes to show that if I'm gone, just like that, then what's the fucking point of all these digital numbers? Because they're just literally fucking numbers. They're just literally somebody saying, doing that. and saying, hey, you have to give us this. It's literally just that. It's nothing more. Somebody just decided this. And that's all. And we're supposed to just give in and say, hey, yeah, we're just going to pay. Because that's literally all we do. As long as we live, we pay. And we pay sometimes for meaningless things. Yeah, it sucks that we have to pay for shelter. It sucks that we have to pay for water. But this thing that I have to pay is just, it's fucking absurd. You know, and this is a demand from the government. You know, and it's, oh my God. I just don't fucking get it. It's literally just a fucking number on a screen. It's a digit. God damn, I know I've been pissed off about this in all of my videos, but today, this call that I got yesterday, it just ruined the fucking mood, man. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments, like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. See ya.